What's up, guys? Welcome back to Hero Talk, episode number 3. Wow, I can't believe this is episode 3. These are going, I guess, pretty well. I'm excited for these to continue to happen, but episode 3, we're here. Today, I know it's not going to be the normal, this is literally the 3rd episode, but I want to talk about something a little bit more real today. Only because I feel like it's very important to talk about real things, real situations. And, on the podcast, I just want to be very diverse. Like, of course, I'm super funny, not to toot my own horn. We talk about crazy things, crazy stories, relationships, love advice, bad advice, good advice, all of it. But I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say I'm going through it, but I had a big, I can't even speak, bro. I had a big realization this last weekend, and so I was like, okay, I want to talk about something a little bit more serious now, which is the feeling of being alone. I feel like a lot of people feel alone, and I've never felt alone. I actually like being alone, like personally. It's just always how I've been. I like to just do my own thing. Of course, I like being around people, but I like also my space, my alone time. Being alone, I don't know, I like it. What made me realize this is I was with the girl that I'm talking to and Kingston, my brother, over the weekend in Palm Springs for his pro bull riding, and it was so much fun. We had a great time. Like, literally the trip couldn't have gone any better. We got an Airbnb. It was so much fun. It's just like the vibes are so high, and I think that when you are with good people, just having a great time, you get like a high from it. And I've never been high, by the way. Just had to say that, but I never have. But you get this like crazy high through the weekend. And then Sunday came. We were driving back, me and the girl that I'm talking to. And then she left to go back to her house. And I went back, obviously, to my house and just unpacked. And I got this weird feeling. And I never felt like this before. And the feeling, I don't know if I'll be able to describe it well, but the feeling was just like, I guess the feeling of being alone in a way. I don't know how to describe it. I felt off and I felt weird and I just kind of felt down. And I was like kind of worried because I never felt this feeling before. And I was a little concerned for myself because I'm like, what is this feeling? Like, why do I feel like this? Is this even normal? And so I actually got so weirded out by it that I texted my best friend Joseph, and I was like, bro, like I have a super weird feeling and I feel weird. Is it because I like spent so much time with this girl this weekend? And when you spend so much time with someone that you like, you see more of the future with that person. You see if it'll work out. I don't know. You just spend so much time with that person that you want to be around them, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And so then when I wasn't around her, I was like, dang, I like missed this girl. I want her to come back and hang out. And it was also like, me and my brother had so much fun as brothers, and that bond, and seeing the girl that I'm talking to, like bond with my brother and just catch a vibe. Like, it was so special because relationships to me, I want my family, my friends to be close to that person. That being said, it was a lot of, I think that I missed her, and we were on this crazy high from the weekend because it was such a good weekend. And then it's almost like you come back to reality and you're just like there and you're just in the house, just thinking about the whole weekend. I don't know. I guess I'm reminiscing is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. But it made me think about like being alone. And then I thought, like, am I alone? Like, do I feel alone? Because I'm not really like an emotional person, or I guess I'm very emotional, but I put my emotions to the side because I don't like being emotional. That was a lot. I don't like to work on emotion because if you work on emotion, then you're never going to get anything done. So I try to push it all to the side. And then I texted Joseph this big paragraph basically saying, like, I feel weird. Do I feel alone? I don't know. I feel like I had such a good weekend with my brother that I missed my brother too. And I feel off, bro. I feel weird and I don't like this feeling. And how do I like get better? And he was just like, bro, like I feel it. Like I understand where you're coming from. It's just when you have such a good weekend or I don't know, such a good day even, and then you come back to reality, he was like, you're going to feel a little off, which is normal. And I was like, dang, this sucks. Like, or maybe it's not normal. I don't know. Because maybe we're both delusional. I don't know. But this is what made me think about being alone. And I feel like a lot of people out there feel a sense of I'm alone, or maybe they feel like they don't have anybody to talk to, and maybe they, I don't know, or they just feel alone, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I want you to know that that feeling of being alone is totally okay. And I want you to know that you're okay and that you'll get through it. And I promise you that in the darkest times, it may not seem like there is light at the end of the tunnel, but I promise you that there is light. And you just have to tell yourself that everything's going to get better, because physically and I feel like mentally, it's impossible for your life to be horrible forever. Like it's not going to be bad forever. Like let's be so honest here. So if you ever feel alone or down, just know that it's normal, but try to look at like the bigger picture, because me being in like a little, not slump right now, but like, a little off, like we all have our days where we feel off or whatever. Think of the bigger picture. In every circumstance, think of the bigger picture. Because if you're not thinking about the bigger picture, then you're technically only thinking about, the day or little things that don't even matter. So it's like, think of the bigger picture. Okay, I feel like this now, but it's going to go away. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. And if you're chasing a dream, which you should be, or working towards something, and you have self-doubt, and the self-doubt then leads to you being like, oh, I feel alone, I have nobody on this journey. Guys, I promise there's light at the end of the tunnel, and you just have to keep going. Just keep going. It's something my dad says to me all the time. You cannot stop, you just have to keep going. Because what happens if you stop, and tomorrow was the day that your dreams were going to come true? You see what I'm saying? You don't know. Basically, what I'm trying to say too is the feeling of being alone is so real. And I guess I'm very fortunate and blessed to have not really ever felt alone. Like what I'm telling you guys about right now, like I didn't feel alone, but I felt just a little off. And like, obviously I don't feel alone now. Again, like I was saying, it's a little slump and that's it. So that little slump you can get out of, like I did. Here we are, we feel better. Talk your problems out if you feel alone. I don't know how this would work, okay? Because again, I've only felt the feeling of being alone for like a little bit, okay? So someone out there, if you do feel super alone or whatever, let me know if I'm completely wrong. But I feel like if you feel alone, you would do the opposite to feel better, which is like talk to someone. Like talk to a friend, talk to a family member, because I lost my train of thought because the camera died. Frick. All right, we're back. Let's focus on being alone. I don't even know what I was saying now because we were rudely interrupted by this camera dying on us. But okay, lock in. Let me lock in. See how crazy I am? I'm not normal. So talk to a friend, talk to someone. Would that help? I feel like it would. Again, someone can let me know and be like, Ashton, you're completely wrong, but I don't think that I would be wrong in that sense. Because in my case, anytime I ever talk to someone, I feel 20 times better. Because even on the podcast, like when I talk about these things, I feel so much better and I get so much more clarity. And then it's like when you talk about it out loud, it's like, oh, that little thing wasn't even that big of a deal. Who cares? Let's move on. You know what I mean? So it's like, talk it out. Talk to a camera. You don't even have to post it. Just get the words out of your body of whatever emotion it is, being alone, depression, whatever. Get it out and say bye. Like, I don't know. Because if you talk it out, it's like it's leaving your body. And then, I don't know, it's a weird feeling, I guess. But when I talk things out with someone, or I talk to the camera, it's like leaving my body and it feels 20 times better. I can't lie. I don't know. So I definitely recommend that if you feel alone. Another thing that I want to touch on is the journey of, I guess, your journey. I feel like everybody is on their own journey. I'm obviously on a journey. You're probably on a journey. Hopefully you are. And I feel like the feeling of being alone on the journey is so real and very normal. I want to give a little backstory. In middle school, I was producing beats, learning how to produce beats, and engineering because I had a strong passion for music, and obviously I still do. But that being said, in middle school, I was dirt biking and basically making beats. And I was learning from Metro Boomin. Shout out Metro. And people thought it was super weird. I'm from a super small town where social media, making beats, doing music, all that was basically looked down upon. And I would say throughout middle school, I had no real friends, to be honest with you. I really didn't. I got bullied for making beats. And then in high school, or I think it was middle school or high school, I started to make like my actual first couple songs. The fact that I had the courage to release music, even though everyone in my high school didn't like it, they hated it. I got bullied left and right, all throughout middle school and high school, by the way. So that's 7 years of my life of just constant, I wouldn't say pain, but in a way pain. Just people just hating for no reason, saying this and that. And I mean, imagine going to school, and I'm sure so many people can relate to this. Imagine going to school with a fake friend group. They never actually like you, but you don't want to feel alone. So you sit with these people at lunch, you hang out with these people, and deep down, they don't even like you. They're not inviting you to go out. They're not inviting me to parties. And it's just, at the end of the day, what it felt like. And maybe this is why I'm so used to being alone, is because at the end of the day, if I just had myself. At the end of the day, it was just me, my laptop, my recording studio, and that's it. And I just made beats, I engineered, I made music because I loved it and I had a passion for it. And I'm not going to stop what I love doing because I'm getting a bunch of hate and I'm getting bullied. And you shouldn't either. So I don't know, maybe I just have a lot of deep down trauma from middle school and high school to the point where I didn't even have anybody besides like my family. I had my family, of course, which is amazing and a blessing. But still, as a young kid, you want to feel like you have friends. And the only friends that I truly had were the best friends that I have today, which is like Joseph, Jacob, Tyler, like other people like that are in my circle. That's all I had. The people that I grew up with in middle school and high school are the people that I hang around today. And I'm not talking about the fake friends that I was around and stuff like that. I'm talking about like real, true friends. And they didn't even live or go to my school. So that's another thing that made it so hard. All of my closest friends lived in different cities. So it would be so hard to find time throughout the week to hang out with them because I'm doing schoolwork, I'm trying to make beats. So we'd only hang out at the dirt bike track or on the weekends. So 5 out of the 7 days, I'm basically like feeling alone, and not alone, but I'm feeling like bullied and that nobody likes me. And like, is it even going to work out in this music stuff? Like it sucks. And I think that's why, I guess I shouldn't say I enjoy being alone, but I'm so used to being alone because at the end of the day, all I felt like I had was myself. And I just knew that if I kept going, something has to come from it. It's impossible. It's literally impossible for like you to keep doing something consistently and working so hard at it and nothing to come from it. Now, maybe I wasn't the biggest. I think the ice machine just rumbled or someone's knocking at my door. One of the two, I'm not sure. Kind of scared now. All right, whatever. Anyway, back to the podcast. If you feel alone, if you feel depressed, if you feel like you don't love yourself, I'm going to tell you something that you need to hear. You have to love yourself. Self-love is the most important thing, in my opinion, and you have to love yourself. Because even when you feel alone, when you feel depressed, when you feel sad, when you feel whatever you're feeling, at the end of the day, all we have is ourself, and you have to love yourself. Get used to it. You have one life, you have one body, and you are you. You have to love yourself. I think most people don't like the way they look or whatever because of comparison, which is the worst thing in the entire world in every category. You can't compare yourself numbers wise, you can't compare yourself money wise, looks wise, and this is why. There's only one of you. You are you. You look the way you look because you're special. I look the way I look because I'm special. That person looks the way they are because they're special. If we all look the same, then what's the point of life? You know, like that would be pointless. So you have to love yourself and you have to believe in yourself. Whatever you're doing, you have to believe in yourself. Because if you don't, like at the end of the day, like I said, you may not have those friends that you have now. You may not have that person that you have right now. You're going to come back at the end of the day to yourself. And if you love yourself and you believe in yourself and you are just your biggest fan, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like you have to be your own biggest fan. Then everything will work out. I would say, I guess subconsciously, that's a big word. I am not used to saying that type of words. I don't even know where that came from. But subconsciously, I think I'm saying that right. I would say like, Ashton, it's going to be okay. You feel a little off right now, but everything will work out. And even though I'm saying that, there's still times where I don't believe the words that I'm saying. And then I have to go to Joseph, which I'm sure he freaking is so tired of me and tired of all my issues, but I love that kid to death. So then I go to Joseph. I'm like, dude, I'm overthinking. Is this and this and this bad? And he's like, bro, you're fine. You're good. Don't worry. You're going to be okay. But that being said, at the end of the day, it's just myself in my body, living life, trying to make it out. So you should do the exact same. Now, back to the journey. And the reason why I was even talking about middle school and high school is because that was part of my social media journey. I have a good friend, Giselle. Actually, she was the one who told me to do TikTok in like 2020. Didn't know what I was doing for 3 years. 2023, I moved to LA. And again, I knew nobody in LA. I was once again alone. I was alone for the journey doing TikTok. I had no idea what I was doing. Had no clue really how social media even worked. And during that journey, it felt great because it was like a fun learning experience and I love creating. And so I obviously enjoy making content and stuff. But again, I had nobody to collab with, which I would argue it was pretty important back then. And it was just myself learning, figuring out, oh, this video got 1 million likes. I'm going to recreate it. Hopefully it works. I was dressing differently. I was trying to do my hair differently because I saw these TikTokers, their hair was different. So the journey was just really myself, me, myself, and I. And I go to LA 2023 and I knew one person and his name is E, LA Niche. All right. He's super cool, dude. I knew him and that was it. Well, actually I knew this other girl because we had talked like on TikTok DMs, but that was it. And actually, coincidentally, I ran into her at the Chipotle, and this is the weirdest experience ever. I promise we're gonna get back to talking about real stuff, but this is just so weird. I just thought about this. In my head, I don't know if she wants me to say her name, so we'll call her Stacy. In my head, I was thinking it would be so crazy if I saw Stacy at the Chipotle because I was gonna eat Chipotle. I swear to you, I walk in Chipotle, Stacy walks out and I'm like, what? I legit was freaking out because in my head I was like, imagine I like run into Stacy in Chipotle, like that'd be so weird. And it happens. How does this work? Huh? Someone explain. That doesn't make any sense to me. I like manifested it literally in front of my eyes in 2 seconds. Cause then she walks out and I was like, oh my gosh, what a coincidence that I see you and hey, nice to finally meet you in person. Like what? That being said, I knew Stacy now and E. The whole journey was up until this point. So many times I did feel alone and I felt like I had myself and I was like, oh, like, is this ever going to work out? And even now, by the way, just to keep you guys on par, I'm not anywhere near where I want to be. Just FYI. So that's why you're kind of along with me on this journey, because I'm not anywhere near where I envision or manifesting and gonna be. I'm gonna be way bigger than right now, but this is just part of the journey, like I keep saying, in the feeling of being alone. So the path that you take, no matter what you end up doing in life, even if you're just living life and you're a Nepo baby, which is freaking awesome. Okay, I wish I was a Nepo baby and I could just have hundreds of millions of dollars or even millions of dollars to just do whatever I want to do. Whatever journey you're on, it could feel alone. And the reason I say that is because, again, moving to LA, knowing 2 people, not even knowing how to make connections, how to get into these LA parties that I see, I just always believed in myself. And I still believe in myself to this day. But you have to just believe that it's going to work out and that everything will work out. And slowly the universe and God or whatever you believe in will work out for you. And it's a weird feeling, but it does. And it's obviously easier said than done. Like, I'm not saying believe in yourself and, the feeling of being alone is just gone. Because no, like even now I feel like I really just have myself, to be honest with you. Because this industry is pretty weird in a way, but it's also like the best industry in the world. I don't know, love-hate relationship with social media, all right? But this journey can be like alone, or you can feel alone, and you're probably at some point, I hope it doesn't happen to you, but you might feel like this one day. And then you can look back on this podcast and be like, hey, Ashton's going through stuff too, and he's giving me advice. Hopefully I'm giving advice. Maybe I'm just rambling about random stuff. I don't know. I hope this actually connects with someone. But yeah, I feel like during the path that you take, it's a very lonely path. And especially me doing social media, getting bullied all throughout middle school and high school, the fact that I still kept going shows the passion that I have and love that I have for creating content. Even to this day of, all I have is myself, can come down to you at night sometimes. Like I just talked about, after Palm Springs, I really felt off. I honestly, after Palm Springs, I really did want to cry, and I just couldn't. I don't know why. And I am not sure if that's a bad thing, but sometimes you just have to get a cry out, That might just be the case, or the cure, I should say, is crying. But I couldn't, and I wanted to, because I knew I'd feel better. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't. Here we are with the podcast, and everything's good. Everything's going well. But there's definitely been times where I've felt just, is this ever going to work out? I'm doing all this, and I'm not seeing the results. And like, what happens next? And the best part about life is we don't know what happens next. I will say that when you do feel like, is everything going to work out, and you have self-doubt, which I feel like I'm not struggling with recently, but I've noticed it appear in my head more recent than other times, is when we don't see results. And I think it's super easy to get trapped into the numbers, or maybe it's money, or I don't know, clout, I guess. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but we get in our head due to certain circumstances. Maybe someone else is doing better than us, which is why you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone. But you will succeed. And when you have the self-doubt, it's very important to not listen to that voice in your head. Because again, like you saying, or I guess, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but when self-doubt comes in your head or whatever, you're listening to these stupid voices in your head, it's hard to not believe the things that your brain is telling you, because like it's telling you, oh, I'm not going to make it, or this is stupid, I'm just going to pack it up. Like maybe it's not even worth it. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this, and this. Turn it off. It's going to work out. Actually, hold on. Pause really quick. Gonna get something. I got to fill up here, okay? No, this isn't paid, but this Celsius flavor, dragon fruit lime, insane. When I was having self-doubt recently, or not even self-doubt, just questions about my career and the feeling of being alone. This is why I'm talking about it. He gave me some really good advice. I feel like the person that I go to a lot for real advice and disconnecting emotion from whatever I'm going through, because my dad doesn't work on emotion either. I called him and I said, I'm going through a little self-doubt. I'm thinking certain things like, what do I do? And he said, you have to be very clear with what you want. He's like, what do you want? And I told him, and he's like, you got to be more specific. If you say you want to make, I don't know. Hold on, there's a fly, bro. Bang. Did I get him? No, I didn't get him. All right, let's get serious, guys. Jeez. Sorry. You got to be very clear with what you want. Wake up every day, pray about it, ask God if you believe in God, and tell God exactly what you want. Be very clear. And the universe and God will reward you. Now, it doesn't just happen right away. But I started waking up every morning, and my dad actually ordered me these, I think they're called prayer beads. But basically, it's like a bunch of little beads on a string, and you say every day, like, affirmations. Like, I'm not going to say what mine are because I want it to just happen and it'll be shown. But let's just say you want to make, I don't know, $100,000 every month. So you would say on each bead, it's so easy to make $100,000 a month. It's so easy to make $100,000 a month. It's so easy to have 1 million subscribers in 1 year. Or even that's not that specific, but you would say like, it's so easy to have 1 million subscribers by the end of 2026. Because then that's very specific. With the self-doubt that I was having, I was like, yeah, he's right. Like, first of all, the biggest thing that my dad always says, which is what I always tell people, just keep going. Just keep going. If you're feeling alone, if you're feeling sad, who cares? Well, I care for you, but in your head, who cares? Just keep going. Keep pushing through. I promise there's light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what my dad said too. It cannot be dark for this long. And when it feels so dark, it's so easy to be like, oh, like there is nothing at the end. But what's at the end of the darkness is so bright and so beautiful that you have to just keep pushing through. You have to just keep pushing through. And when my dad said that, and when my dad told me to just keep going because the light at the end of the tunnel is going to be amazing, I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, you're right. Like, what I'm going through now is part of the journey. It's part of the path that I chose. And, you know, we have to just look at what's next. What's at the end of the tunnel. And what's at the end of the tunnel is so bright, and we can't even picture it or see it right now. But just imagine everything that you ever see just comes true. You making $100,000 a month, you having 1 million subscribers, whatever it is, whatever you're thinking, it is so bright. And I actually completely changed when my dad told me that. And it was like a really real moment of like, wow, I'm having this self-doubt, but my dad is right. You know, pray about it, do the beads, manifest, and be very clear about what you want. And when you're clear about what you want, the universe and God will then reward you, or not even reward you, but it gives you what you want. You're asking the universe to give you things, and it's going to do it. Now, it's not going to happen right away. It may for you. I think it's easy to get caught up with, oh, that person is just lucky. And I'm trying to think of what my dad said about luck, but basically he said luck happens when you're basically asking the universe and God for what you want, and then luck then appears, if that makes sense. I don't know, kind of confusing, but that's in a gist, that's what he's saying. So with self-doubt, understand that you're okay and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And it may be so dark and you may be going through the hardest time, but know that I'm in your corner. And if nobody else believes in you, I believe in you. And I believe that you can do great things and achieve great success. And I'm in your corner. And just know there is light at the end of the tunnel. If you're going through depression, being alone, if you're feeling being alone, or anything you're going through, I hope and pray that you make it and you will get through whatever you're going through. I promise you'll go through tough times, but I also will promise you that those tough times will make you who you are today. Because if I didn't go through everything that I've been through, I would not be who I am today. I would not be able to give advice. Hopefully this is good advice. I don't know. But it will work out. It may take 5 years, 5 days, 5 hours, 5 months, however many years, however much time it takes. It will work out, but you have to keep going because you never know when the day comes. Tomorrow could be the day that your dreams come true. Tomorrow could be the day that my dreams come true. Hopefully they do. I hope that this podcast made sense. I didn't really have anything written down because I wanted just to talk on emotion and talk about being alone. So hopefully we talked about everything and hopefully you can understand that you're not alone, and hopefully I gave you guys good advice. I don't know. Now I'm in my head. Great. Now I'm going to be in my head after this podcast about, was I good? Did I miss out on something? I don't know. I will have guests on very, very soon. Okay. We're locked in on that. So get ready. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time because Hero Talk is the new talk. Shout out to Nathaniel's Journey 1. Subscribe to become a part of the Hero family. And I'll see you next time on Hero Talk, baby. Peace.